Welcome to Agoracom's Small Cap Breaking News, your daily go-to source for the best small cap headlines for over 65 million investors since 2007.
Straight to the news today. We've got drill results and financial reports to cover.
So let's just jump right in.
Absolutely.
First up, we've got a headline from Awalé Resources.
Oh, yeah.
They trade on the TSXV under the symbol ARIC.
Okay.
Their headline today is, Awalé hits 1.6 grams per ton gold EQ over 45 meters at the BBM Zone Odienné Project.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, and for people following gold exploration, that's a really significant width.
It is.
Of potentially economic mineralization.
Definitely. And that 1.6 grams per ton gold equivalent over 45 meters.
Yeah.
It's in Côte d'Ivoire.
Right.
And that points to a significant gold-bearing system.
Absolutely. And they also hit a high-grade section of 4 meters at 2.6 grams per ton gold.
Oh, yeah.
With copper and molybdenum.
Yeah, I mean, having that kind of high-grade core,
right,
especially early on in a project like this,
right,
that can be key.
Huge. And this isn't just a one-off hit either.
No, it's not.
This mineralization extends over a strike length of 1 kilometer and to a depth of at least 300 meters.
Wow.
With average true widths of between 22 and 30 meters.
I mean, those are dimensions
that
can really suggest a significant resource.
Yeah, absolutely. And to add to that, the fact that the mineralized body remains open at depth.
Oh, wow.
That means that there's room for future resource expansion with more drilling.
Absolutely. And they've already identified a higher grade core,
right,
about 300 meters wide.
Yeah. And
they say that's a really compelling target.
Yeah. Andrew Chubb, the CEO of Awalé, said in a statement, "We are pleased to confirm a broad, consistent gold-copper mineralized system extending over a 1-kilometer strike to 300 meters below surface. Within this, we've defined a moderately plunging higher-grade core 300 meters wide, which remains open down plunge, with significant potential for satellite targets within 2 to 3 kilometers of the now well-defined BBM discovery zone."
So when he says potential for satellite targets, you know what that means?
Yeah.
If they start finding similar mineralization in the area around that zone, that could mean a larger district play.
Absolutely.
And that just, really increases the overall value of the project.
Huge. Yeah.
Potentially the lifespan.
Right. And the next headline today comes from Amex Exploration, which trades under the symbol AMX on the TSXV. And their headline is, Amex expands Central Polymetallic Zone drills, 331.92 grams per ton, AG, 1.14% U, 3.38% Zn, and 2.35% PB over 1.30 meters.
Now, when you see gold grades pushing 40 grams per ton over a meter, along with the silver and base metal credits like that.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it signals an exceptionally rich zone.
Right, and this is within their Central Polymetallic Zone at their Perron project in Quebec, which is a great mining jurisdiction.
It is.
And within that already high-grade intercept, there's a sub-interval of 0.8 meters that returned 48.27 grams per ton gold and 468.00 grams per ton silver, along with even more copper, zinc, and lead.
I mean, that kind of concentration of valuable metals, I mean, that can really change things.
Absolutely.
It can have a significant impact on project economics.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for the big picture, this high-grade CPZ has now been extended westward near the surface by approximately 130 meters.
So that's really good.
Yeah.
Expanding the known extent of that mineralization is just huge.
Yeah, and the geology is described as quartz sulfide veins rich in chalcopyrite, sphalerite, pyrite, galena, and pyrrhotite. It sounds very technical, but these types of vein systems can be quite extensive.
Yeah, and the executive chairman of Amex, Jacques Trottier, he seems optimistic. He said, "Today's results have extended the zone up plunge westwards and towards surface and indicate that there is much more room for growth. Our geology team has identified the potential for the extension of the CPZ to continue at depth, where there is a possible correlation with the Donna Copper Zone. This model would match with other volcanogenic massive sulfide VMS ore bodies in the region, such as the historical Normetal mine."
And that comparison to a past-producing VMS mine is something to pay attention to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially when you're thinking about the scale of the project.
Okay, now moving to a totally different sector.
Okay.
We have Tilray Brands,
which
trades under the symbol TLRY on the TSX.
Got it.
And that headline is, Tilray Brands reports Q3 fiscal 2025 financial results.
Now, this is not drilling results. But these financial results could really tell you a lot about the health of a company.
Absolutely.
Especially in this, still evolving market.
Right.
So their cannabis gross margins improved 800 basis points to 41%.
Yeah.
Which is their highest level in almost 2 years.
That's huge.
That's an 8% increase in their profit margin on their cannabis sales.
Right, and beyond the margins.
Yeah.
Tilray has also expanded its distribution of hemp-derived THC beverages across 10 U.S. states.
Okay.
And has reduced total debt by $71 million.
Wow. So entering the U.S. market with those beverages opens up a huge new revenue stream for them.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole different regulatory landscape than what they're used to.
Right.
And reducing that debt just makes their balance sheet that much stronger.
Absolutely. And they generated $1.4 million in revenue from those beverage sales.
Oh, wow. So they're already gaining some traction there.
Yeah, for sure. And the debt reduction included $58 million in convertible notes.
Okay.
And they ended the quarter with $248 million in cash and marketable securities.
So they've got a lot of liquidity.
Yeah, for sure. And finally, they've increased their cost savings plan to $33 million, with $20.6 million already realized.
So those cost cuts, they can directly boost profitability.
Absolutely. And the chairman and CEO, Irwin D. Simon, had this to say. Tilray Brands is shaping the future of consumer markets with a robust global infrastructure spanning the beverage, cannabis, and wellness industries. We are meeting the needs of today's consumers while preparing for the demands of tomorrow.
I like that.
Yeah.
And he went on to say that they're really focused on profitable sales growth, improving profit margins and cash flow generation, and maintaining a solid balance sheet to navigate market challenges and capitalize on strategic opportunities.
So they're really emphasizing their focus on sustainable growth and financial stability.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And our last headline today is for Linear Minerals.
Okay.
They trade as LINE on the TSXV.
Right.
And their headline is Linear Minerals drills 1.00% lithium oxide over 8.90 meters at Augustus.
Lithium.
Yeah.
So that's a key commodity in the electric vehicle revolution.
Right.
And that grade over that kind of width, that could be significant.
Yeah. 1% lithium oxide over almost 9 meters.
Yeah, that's a really encouraging result.
Yeah, and they actually identified 4 distinct lithium-bearing zones in this drilling.
Wow.
Yeah, they hit 4.25 meters at 1.19% lithium oxide.
Wow, that's great.
10 meters at 0.67%.
Wow.
And 3.35 meters at 0.82%.
You know, multiple mineralized zones.
Yeah.
That's always a good sign.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also found anomalous values of rare metals such as beryllium, cesium, niobium, tantalum, and rubidium.
So that could add a lot of value if they're found in economic concentrations.
Yeah.
I mean, lithium is the main target here, but, you know, those byproducts could mean something down the road.
Absolutely.
They even hit some nickel and chromium.
Right.
But yeah, they're focused on the lithium right now.
Right, okay. And Linear Minerals CEO and director Gurminder Sangha said in a statement, "These drill results validate our strategic focus on the Augustus property and underscore its potential to become a cornerstone asset for Linear Minerals. We are committed to advancing our exploration efforts to fully realize the value of this promising project."
That kind of conviction from management.
Yeah.
You know, you're thinking about early stage investment.
Yeah.
That can be a good sign.
Absolutely.
And I think these lithium results, they just show that there's a lot of excitement out there for battery metal exploration and development.
Absolutely. So to quickly recap, Awalé Resources,
ARIC,
has hit significant gold equivalent mineralization.
Yeah, with a high-grade core.
Yeah.
And they think that there's a large system there.
Exactly.
Amex Exploration has expanded a really high-grade polymetallic zone near surface.
Tilray Brands,
TLRY,
showing big improvements in their cannabis gross margins, and they're reducing debt.
Yeah, and their balance sheet is looking good.
And finally, Linear Minerals,
LINE,
has drilled some really promising high-grade lithium oxide.
Yeah. Over some good widths.
Absolutely. And that's your quick hit of small cap breaking news.
Yeah.
But remember, this is just a starting point.
Absolutely.
So they encourage you to go and do your own research.
Yes, please do your own research.
On these companies, their financials, and the broader market.
Yep, these headlines are just a snapshot.
Right.
So your own in-depth analysis is critical.
Absolutely.
Do your own due diligence.
And finally, think about how these updates from different sectors might reflect the broader trends and potential within the small cap market right now.
Okay.
And what other news or developments would you need to see to give you even more conviction in these stories?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Keep those questions in mind as these narratives unfold.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in to this rapid-fire deep dive.
See you next time.